Joining me now is Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat of California. Senator, why is this concerning for someone who's going to be the FBI director?
Well, here's a guy who made millions doing some kind of consultation, some kind of work for this Chinese Communist Party-backed business entity. And we don't know what he did, what he's getting paid for. That's a lot of money. And not just this Chinese Communist Party-backed company, but he also did consulting work for something called the Czechoslovak Group, which has done propaganda for the Kremlin. So how much did he get paid by them, and what did he do for them that he got paid for? These are the kind of things you would hope to know about a nominee for high office, particularly the director of the FBI, that might be asked to look into Kremlin propaganda operations in the U.S. or Chinese Communist Party-backed firms employing forced labor or child labor. So we ought to know the answers. And on top of the recent whistleblower allegations that he may have lied to our committee about his knowledge and role in these firings of top FBI officials, it reminds me, honestly, this is a bit of a deep cut, or it feels like it, of Mike Flynn. If you remember him, Chris, Mike Flynn, Trump's national security advisor in Trump 1. He similarly had these, I think, very sketchy business ties to Russian entities and other foreign entities. He similarly lied, in his case, about contacts with the Russian ambassador. But the difference between Trump 1 and Trump 2 is that in Trump 1, he got fired. In Trump 2, eyes wide open, Donald Trump nominates this guy, Kash Patel, and eyes wide open, the Senate, with Republicans in line, seems to be ready to confirm him. How we could do so without these questions being answered, though, is a marvel to me.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I was struck that the consulting fee you mentioned for that other entity, which was tied to, there's an anti-FBI documentary, I think it was like $25,000, a good chunk of change, but $1 to $5 million, which shows up in the sort of required reporting here for Shein, really seems like a lot of money. That's more than a full-time job. And has he said he's not going to divest it? He's going to hold on to it because it's going to, there's some vesting interest maybe?
Yes, it apparently vested, coincidentally, 2 days after he testified before the committee. And he's made it clear he's going to keep the money. So that's $1 to $5 million he's going to get for services rendered, the nature of which we just don't know. Now, what did he have to offer this Chinese firm? The only thing he really had to offer is proximity to Donald Trump. So what has he whispered to Donald Trump? What has he said? What has he done to defend the business or other interests of this Chinese Communist Party-backed slave labor using, child labor using firm? We just don't know.
I mean, the irony here, of course, and they don't care about hypocrisy, but it has exactly the structure of everything that they were losing their minds over with Hunter Biden, in which they were accusing him of getting a payment from a foreign company simply for his access. Of course, that guy was just the president's son. He had no official role. This is going to be the head of the FBI, which does do work in counterintelligence, right? They do try to find Chinese spies and things like that, presumably.
Absolutely. Actually, the FBI is our preeminent, counterintelligence agency. They are our eyes and ears on foreign spies operating in the United States. So should this company be deploying people in the United States through its auspices, can we really count on Kash Patel with $1 to $5 million at stake to approve an investigation of this company or its agents in the United States? I don't have that confidence, but this is the caliber of person that's been nominated for this high position.
I mean, again, I said it's a senator's club. I think people should call their senators however they feel about this nominee and sort of register how they feel about it. I want to ask you, since I've had you here, and sometimes the way these news cycles work is that something is intensely in our focus and then not in our focus. And since you are a new senator from California, what appears to be possibly one of the most expensive natural disasters, certainly most expensive fires, I think, in American history, that happened in your state around Los Angeles and Altadena. Is there any progress? It's very clear that Trump and the Republicans have basically said we are going to extract a price and hold California residents for ransom. Is there any progress moving forward on an aid package with any confidence that can be done without this sort of extortion?
I'm not sure how much progress has been made on it because they may endeavor to tie this all to the debt ceiling or a budget package, or if Donald Trump gets his way, to some voter ID law or some release of water from some magic valve that doesn't exist. But I will say this, in the private conversations I've had with Republican senators, most of them, not all of them, but most of them have essentially said, we're going to take care of California. We're going to take care of this. And, but I've seen time and time again, and you have too, private attestations don't amount to a lot when push comes to shove. Yeah. So, but I am going to obviously vigorously oppose any effort to condition aid. We're the biggest donor state in the nation. We've never tried to condition our support of other states after their tragedies. This is not the time to start.